hitting rock bottom made me the father my boys needed. This episode is here to help you uncover the story behind your own fatherhood journey. It's here to help you establish those things that truly matter and also help you focus in on what makes a difference. Because we carry weight, we carry the load, we sometimes crack under the pressure, and when we do, everyone else suffers around us. This Answer Me This series puts fatherhood on the map, but it's also designed to inspire you to tackle some of the difficult questions that might be stopping you playing full out, giving your kids what they need, being the supportive partner she needs you to be. Answer Me This is about real stories, it's about clarity, it's about honesty, it's about frank conversations about fatherhood that many of us aren't prepared to have, or many of us don't have the time to have. We will always push on, we will always drive forward because that is our mantra, our mission. That is the way that we approach fatherhood. They need us to be strong, they need us to be passionate, they need us to be brave, but what they need is presence. This series is all about challenging the way that I think, so that hopefully it can open the door for you to challenge some of those outdated views on fatherhood. Ultimately, the storytelling is designed to help you challenge the way that you think, help you understand what makes you tick, but hopefully it's also there to give you some guidance. It's going to give you some footnotes. It's going to give you the insight, I hope, that will allow you to make the changes that are necessary for you to feel confident in your role without losing sight of the things that truly matter, the things that are important. So let's carry on. And if you're invested in what you hear, like, subscribe, and sign up to the Modern Fatherhood Club, where you can get free resources to help you become the father you were destined to become. There was a night I genuinely believed my wife and kids would be better off without me. Imagine feeling like the world would be better off without you. Where would you turn? Who would you talk to? That belief cost me hours, days, and even weeks. I was distracted, distant, closed off, and no longer a positive influence to my boys and my wife. Now, Max was a lockdown baby. Henry was kicking off every night, and I was spiralling. I longed to be a good dad. I wanted nothing more than to be a good influence on them and be a supportive partner. But I wasn't. I was distant. I was consumed by this hatred for the man that I'd become. I wasn't worthy to be their dad, or so I thought. My wife, she didn't see it. I'd hidden behind work for so long that when I came home, I was able to hide the way I felt. Her pregnancy and Henry's happiness were all that mattered. My judgment was clouded, my patience was thin, and I didn't want to be around anyone. It wasn't them, but it was me. I was embarrassed, ashamed, and I knew I had to change, but I didn't know how, and I didn't know where to start. When you're lost in thought, you push those you love away. You don't do it to hurt them, you do it to protect them. I'd always put on a brave face, mask so much, and it's always got me by. But now, I couldn't think straight. I wasn't performing at home or at work, and I felt like the world and them would be better off without me. I felt guilty, but at the same time, I felt like I was dragging everyone around me down. Work had become that safe haven. I didn't have to confront my fear, my anger or frustration. I only had to think about hitting that next deadline or working on that next project. Pathetic, right? A man, a dad, so focused on the pain that he'd lost sight of all the little things. As the days passed following Max's birth, I couldn't see or think straight. It felt like the walls were closing in, and the intensity of the emotion was slowly killing me. I was supposed to be excited, but I was lost and afraid. Now, I'm not expecting you to answer this, but do you ever feel like you're not good enough? That no matter what you've done or are doing, that it's just not enough. Not for you or for them. Do you wish you could do more? Push harder? Even force the issue? That's all I felt. It's all I thought about. I constantly questioned why I wasn't happy. I had everything, and still felt like it was never enough. After a sleepless night and an hour driving aimlessly with Henry, I came home and I sat in silence. My wife asked me what was wrong, and I said something that broke her. I can't cope. I don't want to be alive anymore. I'll tell you what, your partner, she's never going to look at you the same way if you say what I said. She'll question you, and she has every right to do so. Your unhappiness, the pressure and conflict you feel, it's not on her, it's on you. I destroyed her world with that sentence. I remember watching the colour drain from her face as the tears streamed down it. I, the man she'd married and the father of her children, had finally admitted I was ready to give it all up. That shame I'd felt weighed heavier than ever. She couldn't understand what I was feeling or why I felt the way or why I felt the way I did. I couldn't even put it into words. It had been a reaction. I hadn't thought it through. Right now, I'd give anything to take those words back. But that moment forced me to face the belief I'd been carrying. I was destined to fail. Her tears, they broke that belief. They made me realise I was loved and that I mattered. For the first time, I felt free. I'd carried so much hatred for the man I'd become, but suddenly I felt lighter. I'd ripped up our life in a second of vulnerability. That's what we do. We push the people we love away. We start fights for no reason. We work late to avoid discussions. We drink to dull the pain. We shut down and force people we love to question, is it something that they've done? We're no longer accountable for our action, and we take no responsibility for the way we feel. I'd rather burn the house down than fix it. But you can't do that when you have kids. The ego has to go. They cannot see you as a distant, shadowy figure, consumed by silence. That moment I ripped up our dream life in pursuit of freedom. It didn't matter who I hurt, whether I breached their trust. I just had to move beyond acceptance and finally admit what I'd known all along. Without help, I was doomed to fail. I was destined to burn our world to the ground. If this is home, like, share, subscribe, grab our free resources. Look, I made a promise that night that I'd fight, that I'd never let my limitations define our future or theirs, that I'd lead even if I didn't feel ready. Did I deserve a second chance? The chance to make it up to her and my boys? Probably not. I'm grateful for it, and I'll not rest until I repair the damage. I know she's forgiven me now, but I had to earn her respect, trust and her love. I had to prove to her that I wasn't going back on that promise. It's been a long, hard and at times exhausting road. I've worked to regain her respect. I will always be in her debt. A lot of women that have rightfully walked away. I think the difference between us and others is that deep down we have each other's backs. It doesn't mean I can relent and go back to the way I felt. I understand now where I went wrong, and I realise that as you take on the role of dad, your entire world shifts. The way you think and feel is dictated by your decision making, but your decisions are influenced by the need to provide and protect. Your approach is practical. You know what you need to do to deliver on the objectives, but still you feel conflicted, like you have to do more, have more, give more. And that conflict, well, it only eats away at you. But it's okay to feel the pressure. The difference, you need to recognise and respond where that pressure is impacting your ability to show up, to listen, to hear what's being said, and to ultimately lead your family. Being a father isn't about having it all figured out. It's about fighting for what matters most, even when you're broken. Still, to this day, I carry the pressure. But the difference between now and then is that I know when to take a step back and reset. that ability to step back, is because I understand the pain I carried and what it did to me and my family. I understand the fear I felt, the desperation that led to that night. And I also understand what is important to me and why. Not only that, but that why is linked to the cost to my family if I fail or if I lose sight of what they need. I know deep down the motivating factor behind the need to change, but I'm also clear on the cost of not making and sticking to that change. You see, your kids need you. They'll always look up to you and love you, unless you breach that trust. Our objective as dads is to give them a great start in life. If you're consumed by hatred, anger, frustration, and you're pushing them away, then you fail to protect them. It's a hard truth, but it's a fair one I needed to face. Maybe you do too. If this has hit home, if you've been there, I want you to know there's a way back, and you don't have to walk it alone. I respect you, and I respect what you stand for, and I want you to know the Modern Fatherhood Club has your back. There is always a way back. It's not easy, but you owe it to them to become the role model and influence they need. They will want to be just like Dad. Just make sure Dad is having the influence that sets the tone, inspires confidence, and creates an environment where they feel safe and can thrive. I think when I reflect back on that night, I reflect back with admiration for my partner. I respect her more now than ever before. I know she expects more of me, and I know that she needs me in our children's lives. I know that as a partnership we are stronger together. I believe we have the tools and the experience and the love and passion to see us through any challenge. But when you've got kids and it's thrown into the mix and your mental health is suffering, sometimes you just lose sight of the things that matter. Sometimes you lose connection with those things that make you smile, that make you tick. Your influence is ultimately, as we said before, influenced by the world outside. The world outside almost destroyed my life. I had allowed it to take over every moment in my day. I had stopped seeing what mattered. I had stopped connecting with the passion, the joy that fatherhood brings, that being a parent brings. That mental drain, I'd left all my energies depleted. I put business first, I put projects first, I put everything above family. But it was only because I couldn't see the impact that I was having at home. I couldn't quantify as much as I could quantify the impact that I was having at work. That's one of the challenges of fatherhood, of being a parent. You can't quite connect the dots at times, especially when they're still so young. Your objective is to be a good dad, but before you became a dad, did you set out what that looked like? Did you even understand what it took to be a good dad? This storytelling series is hopefully designed to just get you thinking, maybe pinch at the nerve, maybe challenge the way that you've approached every interaction. It's not designed to make you feel inadequate. It's not designed to put you down. It's designed to promote the role that you play, champion the spirit of fathers. Sometimes we have to understand what it is that's driving a wedge between us. We have to recognise when the fibres of the elastic band are about to snap, when the pressure has got too much, because that's ultimately when they see you at your worst. These are the moments that we have to respond. These are the moments that we have to be ready for. These are the moments that make a difference, that shape their future. Lost in my own head, drowning in my own thoughts and feelings, lost to fear. Isolation became my prison. No longer connected, always distant. So if you are feeling like that, please reach out. Please find support. Take our resources. Listen to episodes of the podcast. Subscribe, like, share this with others. This is a movement to promote the strength of fatherhood. And the values that we bring and what we contribute. This has been Aidan. This is Answer Me This, part of the Fatherhood in Focus podcast. Thank you for listening. I'll see you soon.